Do you know that in 1950, only 24% of all college graduates in this country were women? In 2013, the number is 60%. Also in 2013, among the 25-year-old population, 30% of women have college degrees versus only 22% of men. Now, why do I tell you these besides to show off that I know my numbers? Because today's education will turn to tomorrow's creativity, influence, career opportunity, and the power to shape the world. Right now, only 12 to 13% of leadership positions in this country are held by women. But trust me, this number is going to change very soon. It's going upward. There's no turning back. We women are becoming strong and successful, and oftentimes stronger and more successful than guys. And this trend is fundamentally changing how we date and what we want in a relationship. My grandma married when she was 19. She and my grandpa never got along. But my grandma is a housewife her whole life, and she stayed with my grandpa because he was a hardworking coal miner and brought home a steady income and kept the 5 children from starving. By my mother's time, things changed a little bit. My father was a smart, ambitious young man when he met my mother, and he wanted a sweet and pleasant wife who looked up to him. And my mother fit the bill. Although my mother was the first one in her family to go to college, she was raised as sweet as an apple pie, and she believed that woman's role is in the family. 30 years later, my mom makes half the money as my dad does, and she still looks up to him. And by the time I came along, things changed a lot. Nobody taught me to be sweet or pleasant. As a result, I am neither. I know, just blame my parents. Okay, my parents have fought over their parenting decisions. My mom wanted to raise me like a lady. My dad thought being a lady was overrated. And just like most other decision making in my family, my dad won because you know what? He makes more money. So here I am, a product of modern education and progressive parenting. I have more education and a bigger paycheck than half of the guys I've dated. In fact, the only thing a guy does consistently better than me is having a dick. And I have plenty of girlfriends who are just like me. For centuries, women had to marry ourselves off to secure our own survival. For centuries, women were bound to the kitchen and the bedroom. But now I don't have to do any of that. Never before have women had this much power and freedom in choosing what we want in a relationship. But here's the thing. A lot of times we don't even realize how powerful we've become. A lot of us still believe that we women are the weaker sex, that we need to be pretty to keep a guy, that we need a husband to pass the societal judgment, and all the other craps that have outlived their usefulness. And I sometimes hear women say, oh, dating is so confusing nowadays. I wish we could go back 50 years. Back then, everything is so simple and straightforward. You just follow the rules. You meet someone, you marry them for 40 years, and then you're done. Unlike these days, you have to date so many people, and everybody's wishy-washy, and breakups happen faster than you blink. And my response to such complaint is always, hey girlfriend, come here, hey. Don't you realize just how lucky you are? Your grandma didn't have any other choice but to marry that stinky douchebag for 40 years. Now you have all the options in the world. So stop acting like a victim and start making your own choices. We are living in a world that's changing so fast. That's why the old rules in datings and relationships don't work anymore. Yes, it's confusing, but the upside is you get to make up your own rules. You get to do whatever works for you because nobody knows what are the rules anymore. And don't worry about that guy you're seeing. He's just as clueless as you. Isn't this exciting? I mean, I can't believe how lucky I am to be born into this great time. I laugh out loud every night in my dreams, and I strongly recommend that you do the same. And just in case you want some inspirations on what your new dating rules can be, I'll share mine in another video. Stay tuned.